Hey realtors, ever feel awkward about bringing up home staging with your clients? You know is going to help them sell their house faster, but you're not sure exactly how to bring up that conversation. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you some key points that you can bring up to help them feel more at ease and more willing to stage their house in a way that builds trust, doesn't offend, and gets results. Welcome back. Hello, my name is Kasha, and I'm so glad you're here today because this is can be a very sensitive conversation with your sellers if you're a real estate agent, because you know that home staging will help them get their house sold faster. And here's the deal. Most homeowners don't see their house the way that buyers do because they've lived in it for so long. They've kind of put on blinders and don't see beyond what the clutter is, or maybe the wall color, or maybe that there's something wrong with the room. Maybe there's something that doesn't belong in there, like a friend of mine who had a pool table in the middle of her living room, and that was the only living room. And I'm like, oh yeah, that really needs to go. Even though they used it every day, it doesn't matter. You still need to take that pool table out. Sometimes you have to have those tough conversations, and that's what I'm here to help you with today. So here's how you can start the conversation. Number one, you can start by saying something like, one thing I do for all my listings is I bring in a home staging consultation. I do this for all of my listings because it helps them sell faster and they look great in photos. That way it shows that it's not personal and it's something that's part of your proven process. You want to also focus on the buyer's perspective. So you can say something like, we want buyers to picture themselves living in the home, not like they feel like they're walking through someone else's home. That helps the seller understand and bring it to the buyer's perspective. Because again, help them think about, okay, well, if you're going to be walking through someone's house, right, you want to imagine yourself living in there, right? Same idea, except from reverse the role. And if they're kind of hesitant, you may want to bring up some home staging facts. And I'll leave a link in the show notes to some of the profiles that are done with the National Association of Realtors. They do a home staging profile every year, and you can see the latest ones and even the previous years of the statistics they find of what buyers are looking for when they're buying a home. So you can say that studies show that staged homes sell 3 times faster and often for more money. It's one of the smartest things you can do before we hit the market. Now, if a seller resists, here's something that you can say instead. I totally understand. I know it can feel a little strange at first. It's like prepping your home for a big event, right? Maybe you're having a big holiday party. Maybe you're having, think of it that way. Maybe you're having, like a wedding or something like that, right? A big event. You clean up the house, you put things away. That's kind of the same idea that we're going through. In my mind, when I talk to a client, I tell them it's basically kind of like going out on a first date, right? You want to show off the best features, right? You get your hair done, you put on something nice, things like that. You do your makeup. That's the kind of thing that we're talking about to kind of show off the home. So I know some generations are probably thinking, oh, well, my home is my home. That's the way it is. When it comes time to sell your house, you do need to put a little effort in. And you can also offer a suggestion. Maybe you have a stager that can help you with, maybe some inputs. Maybe you can offer that as part of, if that's something that you have with a home stager working with you as a real estate agent. Maybe they can take a quick look and offer some suggestions, right? You're not locked into anything, and you might be surprised by how simple and affordable it can be. Hey there, home sellers and realtors. Real quick, let me jump in here. If you have not downloaded my free guide on how to start staging your house now, it's in the link in the show notes. I'll leave that there for you. And what that's going to do for you, if you're a real estate agent and you just want to get something started with your clients, download this free guide and you can share that with them, or you can send them to the link and they can download it themselves. But in this guide, it will talk about how to influence the buyers, because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to win them over. And I'm going to help you focus on the things that matter in this guide. So you're going to formulate an action plan. I'm going to give you the top home improvements that they can work on, as well as 10 home staging tips. So take a look, download this free guide. You can take a look at it, share it with your clients, or keep it in your back pocket in your portfolio if you need it to show them, to help them along the way. So if you position yourself as the professional, this is something you can also say to help you, because you are confident in bringing up staging, okay, as part of your process. You stand out as a polished, professional agent, right, who goes the extra mile to serve your clients. That's what you do. You want to help them get the best results for their home. And if you're trying to get them the most money, right, the fastest, sale that they can get, now that can be by perspective. Fast may be a couple of weeks, it may be a month or two. I know with the market slowing down like it is, it may take longer, but a staged home does sell faster than a non-staged home, and that's all in perspective. It used to be years ago, it would take, a day, a couple of hours, maybe a couple of days, but now it's going to take longer. But if you stage it, it will sell faster than a non-staged home. So if you want to also play the bad cop versus good cop, let the home stager be the bad cop. I know I've had that situation where I work with several real estate agents, and they're the ones that want to have the relationship with the client for a longer period of time, right? They're hoping they're going to have, referrals from them for helping them sell their house quickly as a real estate agent, right? The home stager, I've played that bad cop before, where I tell them, like, look, I'm trying to help you get your house sold quickly. I highly recommend you make these changes. Now, again, as a home stager, I can't make you do anything. I really can't. But I can highly recommend and suggest, hey, why don't we move this here? Why don't we take this out? Let me show you what can happen. Here's one of the stories, one of my favorite stories that I have of a homeowner where the wife was all in for staging and ready to go, but the husband was not. He kind of had his arms crossed, kind of doing, this kind of a thing, kind of like, kind of grumpy, doesn't believe that I can do anything, doesn't really make any difference. And my favorite one, and I wish I had pictures, but it just moved so quickly that it didn't have time. But we walk into the foyer area, and it had like a dark rug. They had some 4 different doorways in this foyer. So you had the front door, you had a side office, you had the living room, and then you had steps going down to a den. Okay, so 4 entrances in this foyer. And they had 2 little lamps, like little tiny ones in the corners. And then, like I said, this dark rug. And I said, wow, it seems really dark in here, even though we have the doorways open and everything. I said, why don't we remove the lamps and we're going to take out the rug? And he's like, wait a second. You just said it's dark in here and you're taking out the lamps? I said, yes. Can you just trust me for a second? We're just going to try this. I'm going to show you what I'm trying to do. We're just going to remove these things out. Let me show you what we're going to see. Okay. He's like, all right, fine. Okay, fine. Let me do this. All right, let's do this. So we rolled up the dark rug, and because I noticed that they were recessed lighting and they had lighter colored floors, as soon as we removed that rug, that recessed lighting bounced off those floors and made it brighter without the little corner lamps. I know! I'm like, oh, wow, it's like the light went on, right? And he's looking around going, wow, okay. All right, I get this home staging thing. All right, I guess you're onto something here. And so he's like, okay, let's go. What else can we do? So he was energized just by changing a few things and realized, oh, maybe she does know what she's talking about. I kind of done this for a while, and I get that. I understand it's your thing, your stuff, right? You don't want to move it. You're perfectly happy with where things are because you lived your life around it. Maybe it's your favorite chair, or maybe it's your favorite pool table or activity that you always do. But when it comes time to selling your house, the professionals are the ones that really want to help you get your house sold faster. That's our job. That's what we do, okay? You may not agree with it, but again, it is only temporary. It's until you sell your house and then you move into the next one and you can set it up any way you want. If you want that pool table in the living room, go for it. You want that favorite chair or that rug in that room or that paint color, go for it. But when it comes time to sell your house, I highly encourage you to listen to the professionals who are just trying to help you out. So as a real estate agent, if this is something that you want, help with in closing, you're basically trying to tell them that we're not decorating to live, we're decorating to sell. Okay, if that maybe helps you out with the conversation with your client, because maybe, they don't understand. They don't know that it could, just by simply moving a few things out, moving a few things around, by changing a few colors. I have a page on my website, bluediamondstaginganddesign.com, that show you some before and afters, and you can point them to that website just to show them. And there's a page called Portfolio with before and after pictures, and you can see what I did in them. It could be my page, it could be someone else's page, Home Stagers page. They will show you before and after pictures, and sometimes that's enough to kind of convince people, go, oh, wow, yeah, that does make a difference. That does look better, Sometimes a picture is worth 1,000 words. So if that's what it takes sometimes, if you have a little flyer maybe as a real estate agent of your home stagers' work that they've done, that can help you as well. It gives them something for the client to look at and go, huh, okay, yeah, okay, let's try this, It doesn't cost an arm and a leg, at least my consultations don't. And right now I'm having a birthday sale because I'm turning 50 this month. I know, I don't feel that old, but I am. And so I'm taking $50 off my home staging consultations. It's purely online, so you can call me whether you're in Canada, whether you're in Europe, whether you're in the US, whatever, we'll figure out a time to make that work. But I hope as a real estate agent, this has helped you maybe have an easier conversation with those clients of yours so that you can feel more at ease and trying to help them get their house sold faster. If you've liked this video, I hope you take a like, make a comment below. I'd love to hear if there were some hard conversations that you had with clients and you're kind of cringing, going, oh, I remember that conversation. I wish I knew I could have said this or that. Please let me know. Leave a comment in the link in the description below, and I'd love to hear from you, okay? I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and we'll talk to you later. Bye!